Welcome Gemini for your December reading. If you're wishing to make a booking, you can go to the link directly below. Now this reading might be a little bit longer than the other ones, and that's because I'm going to consolidate and give you some information about, the perspective of your growth, but also how we can remove aspects of blocks that you've been currently dealing with this year so that you can move forward into the number 2 year. With it boding better for you, both at a financial, emotional and physical level. Now, during Christmas and New Year's, if there is a space in the booking that you are needing but it's not available, please do not hesitate to email me. Also, please try to stay grounded and have people around you and reach out if you're needing to. Okay, I have noticed the energy with a lot of the zodiac signs have been having elements of having a split of 50-50, and this has been probably from October onwards, where some of us, in each zodiac sign, not just your given zodiac sign, but each of us are some of us are working with our blocks and understanding that it's a process and we're physically moving through them and working with them. Others of us are finding that very challenging, and that can be due to blocks connected to your chakra, connected to your mindset, and maybe your interpretation of the situation at the given point in time. Now, I am finding that a lot of us need to then look at, for those of us who are having blocks, perhaps the best advice is look at the video from before, the month before, and even further back through to October, even if it's just the title that brings about a trigger, or it might be an aspect from recollection if you've watched and followed my channel. These things are going to still be there if they haven't directly been dealt with. So there has been communication related issues as well as home related dynamics, and you'd need to actually recall the video if you had actually watched it. Now I'm going to try and tune into aspects of that, and I know you guys have had a very challenging year. It has been a very emotional year for you guys. Probably more so than some of the zodiacs. You've really had a massive spiritual awakening. Although you feel you haven't had the forward movement, even in pain there is movement because it's physically removing an aspect. And at times you may have felt that you've physically been in hermit mode, but spiritually speaking, you've definitely grown. It's given you a great deal of perspective connected to life, and it's humbled your energy and really made you look in the mirror, emotionally speaking, at some of the realities of life situations and how life has panned out for you. I do feel you to be a little bit more numb, but that's not a bad thing. That can be a very healing thing, where you've come to a peaceful resolve connected to the road you've travelled. Now, I can't say there is a road less travelled because I feel it has been a very long road for you. I do feel connected to a person who has passed over. There is a sense of clarity connected to this, and it's not, for some of you, it can be physical clarity, and that can be if there was information that hadn't been revealed to you, or if there were just in general aspects where you had blocks directly connected to it that you hadn't emotionally dealt with. I do feel a sense of calm, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a peaceful calm. Although for many of you, I am feeling it as such. It may be a sense of numbness connected to you really, really mulling over these situations in your mind that you've been dealing with this year, where you are emotionally spent. Now, sometimes that is a good thing, because you can come to a place where it takes away the ego so you can emotionally just live in that moment where you're not fighting it, you're not processing it, you're not psychoanalyzing situations and punishing yourself and reliving that one given moment. It's a very, very humbling way of dealing with the energy so that you can just be. And maybe that is the advice at the moment, spiritually speaking, for you to just be within a moment, without processing, without thinking, just getting back to the basics of physically just existing in this very moment we are sharing right now. I do feel there are things that are going on around you that are actually morphing from an aspect of areas of concern that you've dealt with this year. Now, there can be energies connected to your relationship of a fear-based scenario that you may be kind of emotionally dealing with. There's also elements of your opinion of career, I'm hearing. And, you know, you guys are very gifted, very, very gifted, very grounded, very talented, and you're not used to being in this energy. It's been very testing, but in a way you can actually look at it of, well, you haven't experienced this, or you might have been for a while, but it sort of feels as though it's a different way of doing things, and that's the way you've got to look at it. Now, this year has been, it's been like a tower event, and it hasn't just been for you, it's physically been for everybody. So, major changes in life, and this is so ironic, this card keeps coming up for 3 zodiac signs now. So, I'd say you're all spiritually and emotionally having the same aspect of the block. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Being a number 1 year, we have dealt with every aspect of our life physically like a glass being picked up and tipped out and then placed back down, and the base of the glass fell out. So the foundation now has been reset, and we're brick by brick building upon that sturdy foundation. It's been repaired, it's been rebuilt. So aspects of your love life have been up. Aspects of who you feel are there for you. For some of us, we have dealt with life in a way where we've been thick in the mud and been dealing with aspects of life in that way. For others of us, the energy has been much heavier and much more challenging because the blocks have prevented our personal forward movement. They can be triggers that, emotionally speaking, you purge and you cry and you move through that energy. And then there's the others of us who are putting on that stance of, if I actually have to step over that threshold, it means I will have to address the toilet roll of issues. And it could be a mile long of scenarios that really, they're just too much to actually unravel and dig right back through over. I feel you're a very old soul. And the reason why energetically you're currently dealing with this year is because you were drawn to do this because you're meant for greatness. You're not seeing that possibility right now, and that's very much frustrating you. Okay. Now I do see for you guys, number 2 year, next year in 2018, is very good for relationships, finances, forward movement, solid foundations. It's a very different energy. Now, within your money sector, what's going on is you're so very used to seeing to believe. And situations you have experienced previously, you're feeling you're never going to be able to revisit them again at a financial level. An aspect of that is due to a block, not a physical reality. It's your mindset. Think outside the box you're currently dealing with on the 3D and understand that anything is remotely possible. You need to think outside the box. So, for instance, you could be someone who is actually ill and unwell and unable to remove yourself from the house. That, in a 3D, perhaps cannot be changed. But on a 3D, you can think outside that box and actually co-create aspects to manifest cash, to also manifest ideas in order to think outside the box. that perhaps we do think that in order to have a traditional job, it has to look a particular way. But there are other ways we can do things which create forward movement, aspects of healing that are outside that normal traditional role. My job, for instance, is not a traditional role, not one that we would normally have. And for many years, the position that I held was very traditional. So it may be something physically that you need to think outside the box and know you might not be able to do it Monday to Sunday, Monday to Friday, but it may be something that you do that ends up being a healing situation that turns into a cash component. Okay, your intuition at the moment, due to this, it's blocked. That's why you're not seeing this perspective. It may be that very well you have great intuition and perhaps a psychic gift connected to, seeing other people's situations, but because aspects directly connected to you are so very personal, your third eye chakra is very blocked at the moment. And as I've said to the other guys in the videos, I am going to create a folder, which is a playlist, where you can listen to meditation music to assist with your chakras kind of being cleansed and open to a degree. Because what we're wanting in the new year is to have those blocks removed and to feel very grounded so we can have the best possible future in 2019 and 18. I don't know why, but something 2018 for you is going to be very relevant. You will have a choice when it comes to cash. So we all have a choice to believe or to disbelieve. But also it might be something coming your way in a sense of an idea you have, or what is happening in the area of cash. This can be anything. It could be assets. It could be movement. I'd have to tune into that or do a direct personal reading, but I'll meditate on that one. Okay, connected to your family. Okay, you don't know really how to handle aspects of family at the moment. And it can be that situations have sort of been left and right. Something could have happened in the family that has really directly impacted you, and you don't know how to directly deal with it in the month of December. It could be a very challenging issue connected to family, New Year's gatherings, proximity, your health, which is directly impacting aspects. So you're very much in your mind going left and right, but I do feel your energy to be sort of plateauing to a point of a sense of acceptance with something. Okay, you haven't healed directly connected to an aspect of family. But it's not a mystery. You're aware of this. So it might be that you need to, regardless of the fact you have not healed, sometimes in order to heal, which is what I do find, sometimes we remove ourselves from family or from an aspect. So the best way I can describe it is there's scenarios in life where we could be in a relationship and we hurt from it. There could be a separation and we move forward in life, and initially speaking we're emotionally and vibrationally not ready to have a relationship. So there's that hermit mode, and for some of you I do feel emotionally speaking on many levels you have been in hermit mode. But then there's that secondary stage where we vibrationally feel we're ready, because a trigger and a light comes about within another human being that we directly connect with. And then we intertwine with that person only to realize that the end of those triggers are brought about yet again. And that's because an aspect of that healing can only be directly connected to another relationship where it unlocks it to actually purge the rest of that aspect of it. A portion of your healing can be done alone. A portion of it can't be done alone and will have to be directly connected to that area. So for instance, if we've had someone that's passed over, it may be that we need counselling or communication or a connection, or a person physically comes into your life that is, i.e. like a mother figure, to actually bring about that trigger point for you to heal that aspect of unresolved feelings. For you guys at the moment, I'm feeling it's directly connected to a trigger point within a family that has not been dealt with. And although you have been, in a sense, removed, sometimes it's not healthy to actually do that. Temporarily, yes, but sometimes we need to bring situations to a head so they may be resolved. I don't feel there will be angry connections. I do feel it's just putting that foot over the altar and walking towards the situation and confronting it face on. In your general life, there are going to be big changes, and I feel vibrationally you're aware of it. Your energy this year has been very emotional, but it feels very accepting now. It feels like you've come to a place where you're ready to do that work, and where you take the situations for what they are, and perhaps internally wish they could have been different in different areas of your chart, you know, be it the romance or the work. But it's like, I feel you're coming to a place where you're okay with it, where you're ready for the new, and it's like you're opening a book and writing a new story. Okay, you have this card in reverse. It's about speak less, listen more. Now it's in reverse. You actually need to speak up. How are people supposed to listen if you're not saying anything? Speak your truth. You do have backup plans, which is almost our tools in life. You think that all the heavy things that have happened to you have not served you, yet they have, because they've provided you with a tool of perspective, a tool of working against adversity and with adversity in order to get the perspective you need for your life. And everything that's physically happening is going to aid you in the future. Right now, what you're not seeing is that. And sometimes we don't see it for a very long time. You could be the very key for the entire family and you don't even know it. Chakra. Okay, your base chakra, which is your family unit, the way you feel about family, the connection with your children, it's out. So, family related dynamics, listen to some meditation music and head on, face those challenges. The connections for you personally need to be dealt with. You need that connection to feel connected. Your aura is feeling very low, but it's also very humbled at the moment. And the connection with these people, know that you're thinking it's going to be different, but it will be more loving and more open, because what you internalize, they physically verbalize. But yet it's not in what they're physically saying, it's in what they're physically suppressing. So the people that verbalize, 9 times out of 10, it comes out very brashly. But internally, there's a reason why. The words have not explained the reason why. For you, if you're internalizing it, you're not expressing it. So you're both mirroring each other, but just in a different way. Okay. You've had too many personal boundaries, which is protecting you, but now it's caging you, and you need to free yourself from the situation. You were meant for greatness. Couples. I'll do singles, actually. I'm supposed to do singles first. Okay, maybe that's the message. For you singles, perhaps you will be coupled. Okay, some of you, I can see travel. I can see unexpected travel. I can see a challenge, and you're rising to the challenge. You're taking a risk. I do feel it's going to be better than you thought. It might be you're taking a leap of faith connected to a romantic connection. You process this for a while. You've known this person before, I feel. For some of you, it might be a long time ago. Or it just really feels like you have known this person in a previous life. It's like a deep knowing. I think sometimes when you do meet someone, and you'll have friends and family say to you, oh, be careful. When you know, you know. Okay, for those of you that are single, it's actually, well, how do I put it? What I just said is basically what's coming through in your energy. Okay, your personal energy, not what's crowding you and what's going on in the month of December. You've obviously got your general aspect of what's going on, but you do know to the core what this is. So it's either you do know this person that is coming towards you in a romantic sense, and for some of you it might be a Leo. But I do feel you do know what the goal is with this situation. Now, you are being very gentle and sensitive connected to this, so it could be that you're being very private about it, but the people that are nearest and dearest to you do have an opinion about it. It does make you feel very emotional, though. Now, there is conflict, so this person might be connected and coming out of a connection. It may be vice versa, where you physically are coming out of a connection and into another, and the transition is people are saying, are you sure you're ready? That's not for all of you. It feels some aspect of a dynamic. Now, the person could be quite rebellious, and in the connections around you, people may feel that it doesn't look right. But that isn't something they need to live with. So it's something that you will be choosing, and it's what you need to vibrationally know is correct for you. Okay, there was a change of plans in your life, and this could have come about very quickly, I'm feeling. Now, you had been really in hermit mode and just doing your thing. And that's for those of you who are vibrationally open to this scenario. If at the moment you're physically feeling no, and again, I am feeling this 50-50, but really, if you weren't, I don't feel you'd be watching this video. But there's an aspect of healing, so it can go two ways. It can be physically that you're processing an old aspect connected to a past tense situation, or a person is physically in your surroundings, or they're coming towards you. Now, you're coming out of hermit mode, but you have been independent, and you've independently looked at this situation, and you're when you've made your mind up, you've made your mind up. Not this person and not a family member can ever waver you. It's once you've made your mind up, it's done. But you very much, it's almost like a Libran energy, but it's more direct. It's like, I physically made this decision. Don't even question my decision. Very assertive energy. Now, you are overcoming situations, and you're overcoming scenarios going on in your life to be vibrationally ready. Now, as I was saying in the general part, it could be that you dealt with that and now you're physically going to a new situation and thinking, oh, am I emotionally ready? We're never, ever, ever ready. But when that heart chakra is awakened and you're moving into that situation, it's always the correct time because you're vibrationally ready. The hurdles as such and the emotions and the trigger points that come through are dealt with within a scenario, not out of it, not completely. Okay, situation is definitely going to get better. So if this was somebody from the past and you were dealing with, when you're currently with them on this occasion, it's going to look very different. Many people in 2017 did come back from the past. Many of us did have to reassess what we were doing, how we were doing things, who vibrationally was going to be connected. And for many of us, it might have been a rewrite of the current relationship we were in. It just depends on how our vibration was at the time. Now, it's going to take efforts to get this off the ground. This could be a connection to proximity of where you both live, but it is boding well and it is doable. Now, this person is trying to bring balance. And sometimes they're a bit proud to say, hey, there's challenges here. How are we going to deal with this? I feel the key is communication with this person. I do feel there is a choice, but I do feel they've physically chosen you, but it's an aspect of their feeling you're not going to choose them. Okay, in the past they might have been, and maybe they're really trying to manipulate you to go more in their favour than, you know, towards another person that might be coming in. And maybe they're fretful that they're going to lose an aspect of what you are. They might have it might be their nature, but I do feel emotionally you have the strength to be able to handle this situation. I'll pull 3 chakra cards. I will be pulling chakra cards, but I'm going to pull your love cards. Okay, they're wanting to give this situation a try, but as I said, connected to your blocks, work on your chakras, because it might be that you're removing your energy to protect yourself because effort isn't being made. It's like an assessment's being made. I feel an assessment has been made. I feel it's fair-based what's going on. Okay, there's no red flags here. It's like you physically know. And you are working on the aspect of forgiving and learning how to do this again. That's what I'm hearing. And they're wanting to give this relationship with you a chance. So those of you who have someone in your life, that's how it's going to be relevant. Otherwise, it will be your thought processes connected to how you felt about a past tense situation and your aspect of processing it, as well as you vibrationally preparing yourself. Yeah, on the 3D, please don't block yourself. If you haven't met someone, vibrationally speaking, it's because you're emotionally not quite ready. Once your heart chakra and your base chakra is sorted and you give it to the universe, the person will move towards you vibrationally. And for December, the answer is this is when the movement within that area will happen. Okay, I'm going to pick a chakra card for couples. And let's see what comes through with couples reading. Really? Okay. Your relationship is out of balance, and I haven't even done the reading yet. Why? We will soon find out. Due to emotions, due to the balance of emotions being out of balance. But you're aware of this situation. You need to ground yourself. It might be that you need an amethyst, some chakra bath salts or something to that degree. You can source them anywhere, but there is the shop. So let's have a look at your romantic reading. Couples. You're both not seeing eye to eye on subjects, and it may be due to a healing process. You both might be going through a healing process at the moment. Something has unhinged you or your partner. Your butting head's connected to it. But I do feel your energy will resolve or dissolve in a sense where you just, bygones be bygones. It's like you're just seeing everything very clearly all of a sudden. But you're very, very tired. You're very tired of the squabbling. You're very tired of the aspects of heavy energy and... Okay. Okay, there's an anniversary coming, and emotionally speaking, your energy is saying, you know, your emotions connected to this connection at the moment aren't balanced. It may be due to the fact that you're very tired. The way you're seeing the perspective within this relationship is, it's off balance. You're not wanting it, you know, and I'm not saying you physically don't want it. You don't want the drama. You're not vibrationally feeling it. It feels an emotional based situation. It doesn't directly feel connected to your partner. It's where you vibrationally are. By healing the aspects of your emotions from scenarios that have transpired this year, this is going to remove the block. But at the moment you have a wall up. Now an anniversary is coming. Or it could be a memory of a person having passed over, or directly connected to your relationship. You're remembering back to a brighter time, but you're not wanting to think back that far or towards that situation. But I do feel it's like a resolve. I hope this makes sense. That's what I'm feeling like. Like you're given in, or accepted the 3D of what it is, and you're looking at it, but it's like you're a fly on the wall, but a very numb fly. Okay, your partner, again, financially is doing well, and maybe they feel they've invested correctly. Maybe they feel they're doing the right thing. You have a great deal of emotions going on. They've got a great deal of love going on. Yeah, emotionally speaking, it might be you're not letting it absorb because you're emotionally speaking very run down. They're still using their energy and moving forward. You know, they're not perhaps doing the things they need to be doing, and maybe it's being left to you. But I do feel you're not really wanting to do certain aspects at the moment, or maybe you're so fatigued you physically can't. Okay, it has slowed down and life is quiet, but directly speaking, it might be the way you're looking at the relationship at the moment. Okay, you need to connect with family, you need to connect with friends, do something different, shake it up a bit to change the dynamic. You're definitely not seeing eye to eye this month. Okay, it feels more energetically, you feel emotionally speaking that both of you are on the same page. Now, if this doesn't directly connect with you, do not own it. The energy could be directly connected to your emotions at the moment, but your partner, and it may be that both of you have gone through some sense of an emotion. It might be directly connected to a loss within the family, and both of you on the 3D, it could be with a very short space in between, going through similar situations. And perhaps when the first person went through that, the other person was unable to support completely because you pushed them away, and vice versa on this occasion. And if you physically haven't healed or they haven't, then how are you able to keep that balance in the situation? So try and be gentle on the both of you, and try and just be in the moment. Not be about that, just be about you and let them be them. Just to give your heart a break, if that's what's going on. Okay, you're very run down and not wanting to do anything, and that's because you're run down. The connection and the chemistry is off. And they're unable to let go of a past tense situation, and they're very low and not optimistic. Okay, let's pull a card. Now, if you are wanting help with this, that we can work with the blocks, I'm happy to help you. But remember, everything happens for a reason. Sometimes at the time we don't see the reasons why, and perhaps we've fought against the grain for a long time, yet vibrationally a shake-up at times happens to get us on the road, to heal, to open up, and to view things from a reality-based situation. Okay, you're missing aspects of pleasure, and the advice is by the 10th, there may be something you're invited to or something you're triggered to do to create a sense of pleasure within your life. Your physical health is impacted by these scenarios going on at the moment, but you need to picture your body strong and healthy. You've got to visualize it. You may not want to attend Christmas, and you might even not want to be home around Christmas. Your partner's doing aspects of healing, but they're trying to work on an aspect of forgiveness. This can be to self or to the way life has transpired. Okay, your gut instincts is off at the moment, so you need, again, to balance your family related. And your partner's not acting at the moment. They're not doing anything. So it doesn't feel they're going anywhere. I just feel it's a very heavy month for you guys. So the best advice I can give you is A, book a reading, and I'll give you a hand. Or take it as this is the energy you're going to travel through. It's not a permanent energy. It's a physical vibration due to trigger points connected from the past. Now, if both of you are currently in that same energy field, it may even be that you're same zodiac sign. So, of course, you're going to directly relate to each other in the same way. But it can be that triggers, or, you know, sometimes being twin flames, we do mirror each other at various intervals in life where we're dealing with that aspect of hurts. And we don't mean to hurt each other, but they're aspects where they can bring about a trigger for us to purge and heal. So, I will say, please do not be alone. Please keep safe. Lots of love and light to you guys. Have a happy Christmas. Try and make the time for family. You're important. And as my family, as you are, a big shout out and happy Christmas to you. Please have a safe new year. And I thank you for the follows. And I thank you for my clients that are, you know, of this zodiac sign. And cross watchers. If you're new, welcome to the channel, and I hope to see you in the new year. Look after yourselves, guys. Bye.